Men being higher on the hierarchy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you think traditionally that men have been at the top of that hierarchy?
Yes.
And do you think that feminists were attacking those systems in order to make them equal?
So, depending on the wave of feminism?
Any wave.
For sure, yeah.
Okay, well then feminism is a rejection of patriarchy and patriarchal systems, isn't it?
No. I guess I'll have to give it to you.
Yeah, I guess you will.
Yeah,
anyway, so back to where we were at before I was so rudely interrupted. Go ahead. The definition is a rejection of patriarchy and patriarchal systems, and you can see the feminist here agreed that that is the definition.
Yeah, if you're going to reject because I see it as, if there's going to be a system, to have a balance within that system and equality within that system, not just where the system is predominantly male-dominated or female-dominated. Get equal.
So if it's equal, and traditionally men have been at the top of the hierarchy, if women wanted to equalize it, what would they have to be rejecting?
Yeah, what you said, patriarchy.
Yeah, the patriarchy. So feminism is a rejection of patriarchy and patriarchal systems, yes or no?
Yeah.
Great, then we're all on the same page with the definition of feminism.
So let's just get around the table if we can. Do you consider yourself a feminist?
I guess so, yes.
Yeah.
Into the mic.
I believe in feminism because I believe that a woman should have the right to make her own choices, especially with birth and life. And feminism, that whole movement, is about women's rights. So women weren't given the rights to vote. Women weren't given the rights to make decisions about their own bodies. And it was given to men who only a seahorse knows what it's like to be pregnant. So feminism...
So what you're saying is men who are at the top of the hierarchy are being opposed by women who want to reject them at the top of the hierarchy.
No, I don't want to reject men. I just want to own my own rights to make a decision. So
but what if men don't want you to?
Well, maybe you don't, but
no, what if men don't?
Some other men do.
Yeah, what if men don't?
I think
for the men.
Well, feminism is a movement for rights, just like the gay movement.
Rights, but who are they appealing to for those rights?
Who are they appealing to? The women?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
so
system.
Who didn't give them those rights, and then after they appealed to that group, gave them those rights?
Well, the men didn't give the women rights. It was just the system of...
The system?
Because there's women in the...
Hang on.
There's
you
women
help me
in
out
the
here.
House of Representatives. There's women in the Senate.
Was there women in the Senate and the House of Representatives before women had rights?
Yeah. I'm not sure, but there was a lot of women behind
The answer is
men.
no, right? If women have no rights, how could they be in government?
So, okay, so you're just saying that women stood up for themselves and said, we would like to have our own rights to make decisions.
No, I'm saying that they appealed to men for their rights.
So then it got labeled to be feminism, and we're not really against men, but for whatever reason, men were making a majority of the rules.
So that would be called, if men are making the majority of the rules and they're at the top of the hierarchy, what would you call that?
Imbalanced.
Would you call it a patriarchy?
I would call it imbalanced.
It wouldn't be called a patriarchy?
Not in my book. It would call.
If it's imbalanced and men are at the top of that balance. So if it's imbalanced, we have a seesaw here. And when this side goes down, that's women here. And this side is men because it's imbalanced. So men are up here.
It's not black and white.
Do we have a word that would describe this phenomenon of men up here and women here? What would you call that?
An imbalance.
Yeah, I know it's an imbalance, but is there another word? Is there another word you can use besides imbalance that would
Whacked.
reference the men that were here?
Whacked.
A seesaw.
Whacked. A delusion. I don't know. There's lots of.
Could the word patriarchy be used for that?
I think that's just your favorite word, so of course use it for you. But for
I'm
me,
sorry. I want to figure out your word. If there's an imbalance,
And I just told
wanted
you
to
a few
reference an
words.
imbalance of power where men were at the
Imbalanced.
top of a hierarchy, would patriarchy describe that phenomenon perfectly?
no, not for
Oh,
me.
what word would?
Not well for you, yes, but not for me. For me,
Yeah,
it's
well,
just,
for you, what word would?
yeah, well, equality. There was
Equality from who? Who do you
It's
want to
not-
be equal?
It's not about being equal with a man. It's about a woman and a man coming together and sharing.
And being equal?
No, both having the rights to make decisions.
So being equal with men?
It's not about an equal.
So if men have all the rights and women have no rights and you want to be equal, who do you want to be equal with?
I want both of them to have rights to make decisions.
Yeah, so men are here, let's say. And
Men are everywhere, thank God. I know, you love that word. So you have patriotic ideas and thoughts and words. And
it's
your
not patriotic.
vocabulary.
Listen,
And
let's
I
try
have a
again.
different-
Let's try again.
I have a different way of
If
describing
women are
it.
being oppressed, women being the monolith of all women, there's only two sets of human beings, women and men. That's all that exists. Women, men. If women, all women are being oppressed, who are they being oppressed by?
There's not just men and women. There's
Really?
everything
What's
in
the
between.
really? There's what are they? Are they the Lafludians? Who the fuck are the third? If there's not just men and women, who
I
are
guess
they? Are
you
they the
don't
Greys?
get out
Are they
much.
the reptilians?
No, there's transgenders.
Transgenders aren't men or women?
They're a mix
They're a mix of men
both
and women.
sexes.
Oh.
So thank
do
God
you-
they came together.
So you think that women were fighting for their rights against transgenders?
No, it's not.
Who are they
women-
fighting for their rights against?
It's not against anyone. They just
Oh, it
wanted
wasn't
their
against
own
anyone.
rights. And you being a man, maybe you can't understand that concept that a woman wants to make her own decision about giving birth, about her
Yeah,
own
I
decision.
agree.
About
So if women want to make their own
voting.
decision about giving birth, and there's another group who aren't women who say, no, you can't, what would you classify that group as if you had to give them a name?
sick.
Oh my God.
You wouldn't classify them as being men?
Not all men are biased against women having rights. So
I see
there's
here.
a lot of men.
Great. So then women never fought for their rights against men. Got it. Who did they fight for their rights against? Was it other women? Were women out there with ARs and they were like,
Yes.
fucking bitch, you can't have no rights? Is that what happened? Like,
There,
tell me
there
tell
are
me how this
actually
went.
are women who don't want women to have their own rights. So
Yeah, do you think that feminism was an attack against women for oppressing women? Or do you think
It's
it was
not an
them pushing
attack.
back against men because men were at the top of the hierarchy? Like, which
no,
one do you think is true?
It's not an attack. It's women speaking up for themselves and saying we'd like to have our rights to vote, we'd like to have our rights to make decisions.
Yeah, so women, being all women, are speaking up because they want their rights. Who are they speaking up to?
The world.
Oh, the world.
My goodness. Here, let me get everybody's answer on this. Are you a feminist?
Brilliant, by the way.
Huh?
Like,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
probably
Yes.
the best debate that I've had all evening. The answer's obvious. You know it's obvious. But instead of just conceding so that we can have the conversation, it's far easier for you to project into my mind using your dolphin technology in order to convince me that feminism was really all about women oppressing women. Brilliant stuff. I am impressed. One day I hope that I can project like you can my thoughts into other people's brains.
Right now.